The next thing I want to talk about is the chewing the gum with all the flavor out of it. How you can still blow bubbles and you can still enjoy, I guess, a little bit of it, but really when the flavor's gone, it's kind of old news. And so I've gotten...
So bring that analogy into something that makes sense to those who are hearing.
Well, so something in my life is my marriage and the feeling, the knowledge of, and the knowing.
Oh, if we were you, we'd blow more bubbles. A lot more bubbles. Big, 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 beautiful bubbles.
Yeah. I feel so certain and good that the best thing for us is to uncouple and to enjoy our last time together and blow big bubbles as we do that. That's what feels really good for me.
Maybe.
Well, let's dig in there a little bit more, because I'm not feeling maybe. I'm feeling really good about the decision to uncouple. It feels...
But what receptive mode do you think you were in? What was the last thing that happened when you had that strong, clear thought that that's what you wanted to do?
That I feel like I can't be authentic with him, that I can't be myself.
So what receiving mode is that? You think that's your inner being talking to you about that?
Yeah, I guess the part of me feeling like, well, it's the desire to want to be authentic.
But did you hear what we're getting at? In other words, go back to the basics of what you really understand, that you're always in the receiving mode. And so when something isn't going the way you want it to, and you don't feel like you can be authentic, and so then you get this impulse, well, I think I'll go someplace else. We just want to ask you, was your vacuum plugged in when you got that thought? No.
Yeah, you're right. Well, it's also a part of me knowing it feels good, though. I'm having a hard time feeling, so this is where it's like the wavering. So I asked for without a doubt sign, and I got 1,000,000 of them, but that's the best thing for us to separate. And then I felt so good and so clear, and I feel like the unfolding of things is just lining up, and I feel like this...
Well, every now and again, in fact, quite often, people give us a scenario like this, and they make a statement or ask us what we think. Do you think I should leave, whatever? And sometimes we say yes, but we always say, are you leaving this or are you going somewhere else? And right now in your vibration, you're leaving something because you don't feel authentic. You're not going to something else. We're not saying that that's always the way it is. That's just the way it is right now in this vibration. That's just what you've got going on right now. So if right now, while this is what you got going on, you leave, then you take yourself with you, and that's your point of attraction. Wouldn't you like to blow more bubbles?
I would.
And figure out who you really are and what you really want, and achieve a consistent mastery of that vibration, and see if your power of influence with that kind of alignment can't attract something right from where you are that matches what you want.
And so I got a glimpse of that, and then it scared me a little bit. So I felt almost, because I was really concerned about what other people would think.
Scared you? Why?
It scared me because I was worried about what other people would think. It's old. I don't want to even go there.
What's anybody else got to do with it?
It's irrelevant. I know. That was in the past. I'm feeling like I want to focus there because it feels good, and I want to allow more to, I want to focus where it feels good.
You see, so many of you are so ready to just move on. And the reason, and now we know you know more than that because you've been listening to us for a while. And we often have conversations where we know you're feeling resonance and you get all of this. So we don't need to give you the whole thing again because we know what you know, and we know that you often know it. But still, we want to say this to you in a way that you can really hear this. Most people are so accustomed, even those who are working at achieving mastery with understanding vibration, you still believe more in action than you do vibration. You just do, because action is more obvious. Action makes things happen in a more obvious and sometimes in a faster way. In other words, you could just go and a lot would change for you. But what we're talking about in all of these hours that we're together is mastery of your own vibration, which means mastery of alignment with what you really want, which means clarity as you are moving forward. And we don't feel anything even close to clarity, even though you're making strong statements about what you've decided to do. There's no clarity backing up that decision. There's no vibrational clarity backing up that decision, because it's not coming from non-physical. It's coming from your awareness of what you don't want more than it is from your awareness of what you do want.
And I think there's so much momentum. So when you asked the question earlier about what receptive mode was I in when I was so aware, it's the idea that I've been wanting to be a mom for about 9 years, and he doesn't want to be a dad. And so it feels like action is really easy for me.
So if you pick up the vibrational stick, I want to be a mom, what do you think vibration is most active?
Not being a mom.
What?
Not being a mom.
Being prevented from it or not being it. What's that really talking about, even more than the subject of being a mom? What's that subject talking about? It's talking about getting to do what I want to do. It's talking about my freedom. It's talking about me getting to choose. So what we're saying to you is if you walk away from something that you think is preventing you from being able to create what you want, you walk away and nothing changes. But if you stay right where you are and you find that sense of freedom, and then you are inspired to walk away, that's a whole different thing. That's an entirely different thing. So many people are moving away from what doesn't feel good instead of moving toward what does feel good.
And it feels good, though, to feel like I have an option, that I can. It feels good to think that there's a possibility that I can be a mom. When I feel so clear, I feel like the possibility isn't with him.
Well, we can feel where you're at, and we are pretty sure about what you're going to do. We're just encouraging you to get yourself into alignment before you do anything. That's all. And you can't get there from there. And so even as we're visiting with you, you're sort of digging in and explaining to us that this is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to do. And I think it feels good, so I'm going to do this. And we say, we're pretty sure you're going to do that. And then you're going to stand in another place, and there's going to be something else sort of like that, because you haven't claimed for yourself the prize that this contrast is offering to you. Claim it and then go. But claim it before you go.
I got that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.